There are days in our lives that pass like whispers, unrecognized, unappreciated, unseen. And then there are days that stop time. Days that don't arrive by coincidence. Days that are written into the tapestry of existence before we even breathe our first breath. June 26 is one such day, not because it is louder than the rest, not because the sun rises brighter, but because it carries a purpose that is invisible to the eye, yet deeply felt in the soul. We often wait for divine signs to come like thunder or fire. But in truth, the divine speaks through silence, through stillness, through synchronicity. On this day, something began, or something ended, or perhaps both happened at once. And whether you realize it or not, you were chosen to live this day. Not by chance, not by luck, but by a wisdom greater than yours. Your role is not to question why this day holds meaning. Your role is to breathe into it, to be fully present in it, to let it unfold without resistance. June 26 was not just a day, it was a doorway. The question is, will you walk through it? We live in a time where the intellect is worshipped. We seek answers, reasons, explanations, always trying to define and label every moment. But not all moments exist to be understood. Some days arrive not to give you logic, but to awaken your inner stillness. June 26 may not come with a headline. It may not present a clear event or life-altering breakthrough. And yet something in your heart feels different. That's because this day carries a frequency, not a fact. Imagine standing by a calm lake. The water is still, silent, but beneath its surface, life is moving, growth is happening, transformation is unfolding. You don't need to dive in to believe it. You just need to be still enough to feel it. This is the nature of sacred days like June 26. They require presence, not proof. They offer wisdom, not words. Only when the mind surrenders, only when you stop trying to explain and start trying to experience, only then will you perceive the real meaning of such a day. It is not about what happens on this day. It's about what awakens in you because of it. So, let your soul receive what your mind cannot grasp. Because some days, like this one, were chosen not to be solved, but to be sensed deeply with your entire being. The greatest deceptions in life are not created by others. They are the illusions we create ourselves. And one of the greatest illusions is this, that meaning must always come with grand gestures, loud events, or visible signs. But the truth is more subtle and more powerful. June 26 may appear as any other day. The sky may not change color. No great trumpet may sound. Yet that does not mean the day is empty of meaning. You see, the sacred hides within the simple. Divine timing rarely announces itself. It often slips in through small moments. A breath, a glance, a sudden realization. A shift in how you feel even when everything looks the same. We are trained to expect fireworks when the universe moves. But what if the real miracles are woven into the mundane? What if your encounter on the street today, the thought that came during a quiet walk, the silence you noticed during your morning tea, were all messages in disguise? You don't have to climb a mountain or sit in a temple to meet purpose. Sometimes, it's in the ordinary step you take, with extraordinary awareness. So on this day, let go of your need for confirmation. Let go of needing proof. Instead, walk slowly, observe deeply, feel fully, because the sacred is not somewhere else. It is right here, wrapped in the most unremarkable moment, waiting for you to see it. Often, we question our path. We ask, why am I here? Why now? Especially on days that feel still silent or even uncertain, like June 26. We search for deeper meaning. But let us reflect on this. Out of all the possible timelines, out of all the infinite moments that exist in this universe, you are here, now, on this day. This is not an accident. The river does not choose where it flows. It simply follows the pull of the earth. Likewise, You are being moved by a current far deeper than your mind can comprehend. You may not see the full picture today. You may not understand why June 26 matters. But your presence here is part of a pattern. A precise unfolding of energy, time, and intention. Every breath you take on this day adds something to the world. Every step, every thought, every intention carries a frequency. So instead of wondering why this day was chosen, accept that it was. Accept that you were guided here, not randomly, but purposefully. You are not out of place. You are not late. You are not early. You are exactly where you need to be. Let that realization bring peace. Let it remove doubt. Let it awaken in you the trust that everything is already happening according to a wisdom greater than your understanding. You were chosen for June 26, just as it was chosen for you. Embrace it fully. Nature has never rushed. The sun does not rise too soon. The moon does not appear a second too late. And yet everything is always perfectly on time. So too is the unfolding of your life. And so too is the arrival of June 26. We often grow impatient, wanting signs to appear when we feel ready, but readiness is not determined by emotion. It is measured by alignment. If today has arrived, it is because the conditions are right. Whether you realize it or not, this day brings something into motion. Something that was not meant to occur yesterday and cannot wait until tomorrow. Perhaps it's a decision. Perhaps it's a release. Perhaps it's simply the realization that you are already enough. The mind may question why today, but the spirit answers in silence because it is time. Just as a flower blooms only when the soil, the water, the sun, and the wind have all agreed, you too are blooming on divine timing. June 26 is not random. It is not a coincidence. It is a sacred appointment. And the more you trust that timing, the more peace you will find, not in knowing the outcome, but in knowing that you are not alone in the process. Allow the day to do its work. Don't interfere. Don't rush. Simply align. Each day is neutral at its core. It carries no opinion. It does not label itself as good or bad, sacred or meaningless. It simply is. It becomes meaningful only through the lens you choose to see it through. And so, June 26 is not just a date on a calendar. It is a mirror quietly reflecting your state of being. If you look at this day with the eyes of doubt, you will see confusion. If you approach it with restlessness, you will find only frustration. But if you meet it with presence, with openness, and with humility, this same day can become a doorway into clarity, into transformation, into peace. It is not the day that must change. It is your awareness that must deepen. Just like still water reflects the sky clearly only when undisturbed, your mind must also become still, free from the ripples of past regrets or future anxieties, to truly perceive what this day is offering. Ask yourself, am I looking with the same old eyes, expecting new truths? Or am I willing to soften, to breathe, and to truly see? Because sometimes the shift you're looking for isn't in the world. It's in the way you are looking at it. So today, let June 26 reflect something beautiful. Let it reflect your awakening, your presence, your readiness to walk forward in alignment with something greater than yourself. So now pause, feel the breath as it enters, feel the breath as it leaves, and understand you are not here by accident. This day, June 26, is not to be rushed through or overlooked. It is to be honored, lived fully, received with humility. You do not need to know everything. You do not need to achieve or fix or prove anything today. You only need to be aware, because awareness transforms an ordinary moment into a sacred one. Awareness turns a passing day into a divine encounter. And when you carry that stillness, when you walk with intention, when your presence becomes your offering, then you will understand why this day was placed in your path. The June 26 was not just chosen by God, it was chosen for you. Now the only question that remains is, will you walk through it with your eyes open or sleep through a miracle?